We're going live for Week 14 fantasy football, answering start-sit questions, talking some ball, looking at these games, looking at the game scripts coming up. We're waiting for the chat to rack up here. But looking at this, we got some interesting football today, guys. Some interesting football. One thing in one game that I'm excited about as we're looking at the over-unders here, everybody is. Bengals, Bills. Bengals, Bills. I'm excited for that one. 54.5 over under. Spread is 6. Burrow's back on the road to Buffalo. I think that's going to be a fun game to watch. I think that is one of the few games. And I think I want to call this out because I just noticed this earlier. Like, I wonder what caused this move here for Jaguars Colts. If you know, is there an injury that came up? Because it was at 47.5 or 47-ish. 47.5 like yesterday or a day and a half ago. And now it's at 45.5 for Colts Jaguars. I think that's going to be a fine game script, but I think there's risk to it as well. I think there's a little bit of risk. And the risk is Daniel Jones. And so the risk for that game script is the Jaguars can sometimes be a little bit scrappy. I think you got firepower on both ends, but overnight or over the last, 24 plus hours, it is dropped 2 points on the over-under. I wonder what was shared. I wonder what happened with that one. Going over some of the news here. Let's do that for some of our start sits. Feel free to drop your start sit questions in the comment section below here. But going down with what's pulling up, we had two just drop in real quick here. We're going to get a lot of Luther Burden questions. That's been burning hard. He is the number one trending player right now. Right now on Sleeper. Number one trending, number one pickup, considering Rome Odunze. Our first two have him in there. I had a bunch last night. Burden or A.D. Mitchell. When I really look at that matchup, I like A.D. Mitchell's matchup better. I just like his matchup better. I know what I'm going to get out of him when I'm looking at A.D. Mitchell. And I'm looking at Luther Burden. I'm looking at this matchup for Luther Burden. I know I'm roughly probably going to be around 5-6 targets. I don't see it really being less than that. I am worried about this game script here on the road against the Packers. I think he's a good upside gamble. When I'm looking at Alec Pierce for this week, I think we're going to be in the same target range. This matchup's a little bit less of a gamble. I just feel a little safer with A.D. Mitchell. I think most of my lineups would go A.D. Mitchell. With that, that's what I'd be looking at. When I'm looking Vele, Luther, or Money Guy, I think I would. Really depends on what you need with that question. If I just need to hit that fairway or even just get close to it, then I'm going Money Guy. If I need the potential blow-up spot, because Money Guy banged up through the week, and then also you got that Packers game right there. But if I need potential upside, I would go Luther Burden. If I need to shoot for 20 plus, Luther Burden. If I just need to hit the fairway, I would go Money Guy with that one. Woody Marks or Blake Corum. When I look at Woody here, going to this matchup here against the Chiefs, I think he's the safer play due to the touches. He's more projectable. I think Blake Corum's got more upside. I think most of my lineups, I'd be starting Blake Corum unless I feel like I'm easily going to beat the crap out of the guy I'm playing against, or if I'm up from Thursday, then I'm starting Woody Marks. If it's a 50-50 matchup and I just need to gamble on more of the upside, then I'm going to go Blake Corum. That's probably how I would play it. And I think Blake Corum does have more upside here, and I think he has a better matchup. The opportunities and touches is what's going to be the matter with that one. Bowers or Burden? Bowers, especially. I think Bowers has the upside, and on top of that, just the upside and the workload. Start one, Money Guy, Burden, Corum. Usually I would lean to the running backs. I think I would look at it like this. I think Corum's got a good matchup here with the backup running backs. I'd like Corum's matchup better than the Packers matchup against the Cards. I think he's the safer play out of the ambiguous players. I think he has some upside. I like Burden for the upside play. I think a lot of my lineups, I'd go Burden in a lot of lineups if I'm trying to score big. I'd go Burden in a lot of lineups if I'm trying to score big. If I feel like I got an easy win coming, or if I'm ahead from Thursday, then I'm going Quorum. And I think a lot of lineups, I think it's about 50-50 depending on my context. If I feel like I'm going to easily win, I just can't mess it up, then I'm going Quorum. If I have to gamble for more upside, I'm going Burden. Should I start the Packers defense, or do I have the balls to start the Commanders defense and hope that JJ is bad? Thanks. I think that's a let's see what they're saying over at Fantasy Pros. I think that's a great question. I think that's a great question. Double checking the chats here. I think that's a great question. I like the Packers this week. I think it's a rough one. Where do they have the Commanders? They got them 6. Green Bay 12. The thing about this Packers game, it's at home. And they gotta get to Caleb Williams. That game could be a little bit back and forth too. Like, it's not just the defense, it's also like the Packers could be scoring on them. JJ McCarthy could come out and be a little better. I think the safe play is the Packers. I think the Commanders have a little bit more upside, but it's all on JJ McCarthy. I think the danger part of the Packers isn't the Bears versus the Packers D. It is the game script being pushed by the Packers wide receivers against this Bears defense. And now we got some back and forth in the last part of the game. I think that's the danger of that matchup. They're safer. I think they can get to the quarterback and everything else. Commanders more of an upside play. I think I'm chasing more upside. I think I'd go Commanders, but I feel like Packers are safer. They have a higher floor. Burden or Bam Knight? I would mostly do Burden. I think he's got more upside. I think the floor is a little higher with Bam Knight. You're just hoping for that touchdown. I don't like his matchup. If I feel like I'm almost certain to win, I'll go Bam Knight. Most other cases, I'm going Burden, and I like the upside more. Probably the same thing as the Bam Knight. I'm not in on Jones. I'm not in the Vikings that well. So if I feel like I'm very certain of my matchup, I'm going Jones. But I think a lot of cases I'm just going to go Burden and shoot for the upside. That's probably what I'm going to do. And I think there's a probability, since the floor is kind of very low considering this matchup, it might bust on you, but I'd rather shoot for the upside, considering like Aaron Jones might just get you the 10 spot. That's why I'm kind of considering that way. Luther Burden is on everyone's mind. Yeah, he is. He's trending hard right now. And the thing is, this is a 5-star recruit, big time prospect. He was cashing in camp. He was hurt during mini camp and a lot of the camp, especially the start of it. So he's still green. But the thing about this is you also got Packers, Browns, Packers right in the row, gauntlet. So it's a big gamble play. And part of him breaking out is also Love getting fired up on the other end against the Bears defense, pushing the Bears offense to have to light it up in the back half and take more risks. I think I'd go Alec Pierce over Devon Vele. I'd go Alec Pierce over Vele. I'm checking the chats down here. I got a lot. So I'm going to move a little faster, guys. Aaron Jones, Money Guy, Quorum, Strange. I would look at it 2 ways. I'd go Aaron Jones as my safe play. I think he's more projectable for the touches. I think most of my lineups, I'm going Quorum. That's where my gut went. I like the matchup. It's a little bit of a gamble. I don't know where the touches are going to be like. Most of my lineups would go Quorum. I think Aaron Jones is a little bit safer, though, higher floor. But the upside, I don't think is really going to be there unless something extravagant happens. I think I'd go Quorum mostly for me. Flex 1. 80. Burden. Flex 1. Is it RJ Harvey? I'd go RJ Harvey. I feel the safest with RJ. RJ. That's who I'd roll with. Tampa or Miami defense? All right, let's see what they got here. Tampa against Saints. Miami against Jets. Breaking that down here. What are they saying here in Vegas? Tampa versus Miami. They had Tampa, which the thing about Shuck, he's a wild card because he's either going to throw for 250 or he's going to blow up the whole game and suck really bad. And that 250 still might suck, will probably still suck really bad, but it's enough volume to hurt your defensive scoring. You got 41.5 over under. Vegas is very low on that matchup. And then going down here to the Dolphins-Jets game, 41.5. So roughly similar, 2.5 spread. I think I'd roll Bucks. Bucks at home. Jets at home. I think I'd roll Bucks on that one. I'd roll Bucks and gamble and Shuck to suck. That's what I do. I think there could be some scoring in that matchup. There's a chance it breaks loose if Shuck can, even if he sucks, can push it. Now, you may not get that with the Jets here, but I think they're going to control it too much. So I think you got more upside with the Bucks. I think you might be a little safer with Dolphins, but I think I'd shoot for the upside more with the Bucks. Sutton, Devonta Smith. I think they're both decent plays this week. I think I'd roll Devonta Smith. Let's look here. Tight ends here. Juwan Johnson, Ertz, and Waller. I like Waller more for next week. I wouldn't cut bait on him. I like him for Steelers-Bengals. I'm very high on him for those two games. I think he's moderate touchdown gamble. I'm looking at Ertz versus Minnesota, Juwan Johnson. I think Juwan Johnson would be my man. That's who I'd be rolling with this week. All right, checking the chats. Need one wide receiver, 2 flex. Burden, Jaden Higgins, Vele, and Shakir. Need one wide receiver, 2 flex. They're all wide receivers, so I need 3 wide receivers of the 4. Burden, Higgins, Vele, Shakir. I'd go Shakir. I'd go Burden, Jaden Higgins, Shakir. And then if you want to shoot for pure upside, Burden. If you want to be a little safer, Vele. But my personal preference would be Burden, Higgins, Shakir from the 3. That would be my personal preference. I can definitely see if you're chasing more floor, Vele. But that's what I would do. Doesn't mean I'm always correct, but at least I'm going to shoot you honest. Hunt, Kareem Hunt, or Pacheco rest of season. I lean Pacheco if he's healthy. I lean on the explosiveness. Always chase the more explosive player. There's a chance he turns it on. Maybe not. You're looking at, let's just look at the schedule here and everything else. I lean that. Should see an increase of workload when 1 game back. Houston, Chargers, Tennessee. You got some rough game scripts coming up. So that's one thing to be leery of. But I would lean on the more explosive player. Outside of that, Hunt's a touchdown gamble. They're both kind of are. Terry Waddle or Wilson must win. Terry Waddle, Wilson. All 3 of them are great choices for this week. That's the thing about that question. Like, you're loaded there. You're very loaded there at wide receiver. I want to see where they moved Wilson. Like, Wilson should be just spammed. Michael Wilson's top 10. You got 2 top 10 wide receivers. So, really, you're trying to see who you get the upside. And then you also got Terry, who was getting targeted like crazy. He's in the top 25, which my gut went to Wilson. I like all 3. I also like Waddle. I think I can see movement for Wilson in this matchup. I can see them playing from behind. I can also see Brissett more projectable with his passing attempts. My gut went to Wilson when I saw those 3 names. I went there to just see where they had Wilson at. That's where my gut went. Strange or Loveland. I like Loveland more for the upside. Like, if you need 15 plus and you're shooting for that, Loveland. If you're looking for more floor, I'd go Strange. I think they're both touchdown gambles. I think with Rome Odunze out, there's going to be changes in this passing attack, but this is a rougher matchup. I think around the red zone, Loveland might get more looks this week. I think Strange's a lot safer. I think Loveland's got a lot more upside for the big play. So if I'm looking for the big score, I'm going Loveland. If I'm just looking to get to that 10, 11, 12 range and just say it's good, I'm rolling Strange. And why I say that is if I feel like I'm ahead, if I'm ahead from Thursday, if I feel good about my matchup, I'm going with that safer play. If I got to shoot for that upside and just take that gamble on the lower floor, then that's what I'm going to have to do in some of these matchups, especially if it's against a top team. Bo Nix or JD5? I'm a little bit. I want to see where they got Bo Nix. They got I feel like Bo Nix is a shade safer. I feel like JD5's got a little bit more upside. And JD5 worries me a little bit with him just coming back. But you also got Terry McLaurin, and Terry McLaurin was rocking it pretty good. You also got against Minnesota on the road. That could be an interesting matchup. And also, J.J. McCarthy could be so bad he just kills it. But you also got Geno Smith on the other side. That could just kill it. I think Bo Nix is a little safer. Bo Nix, I don't see him as an upside play. That would be my question here. I want to see what he's been doing lately because I'm talking off the cuff. Usually you're getting 37, 45. Good volume over the last 3. It's every other game here. Last time against the Raiders, 150 for 1. It wasn't a great matchup there. It was not a fun one. You're looking at this. You also got the emergence of Pat Bryant here, so you got more weapons. But you're looking at him. He's at least hitting the fairway. He's at least hitting the fairway. He's not he busted against the Raiders, but he's at least hitting the fairway. He's at least doing that. I like him for that. If I got to shoot for 20-plus points, I'm going Daniels, though. So, again, that's where I'm looking at. I think the odds of Bo getting you to 20-plus means something's got to break. And JD5 has a lower floor. Good morning. Need to pick 2 wide receivers and 1 QB. Wide receiver, Shakir Myers, Dubs, Higgins, Bo Nix, Brissett. I would go Brissett, and then I would go Dubs. I would go your first 3. Shakir Myers, Dubs, and then I'd go Brissett as my quarterback. That's how I'd roll that. I feel this is getting to where it's almost a 50-50 deal. I think I'd still roll Mecca Buka here for this matchup. I think this could be a get-right game for him. I think they're going to roughly see the same volume. I wouldn't be surprised if Franklin outscores him. That being said, when I say that, I'm kind of low on Igbuka, but I'm still probably going to roll him out personally for my lineups if I had that situation. Swift, Pierce, Burden start 2. Swift, Pierce, Burden. Alec, Pierce, Swift. Swift and Pierce. That's what I'd roll. I'm going to look down here and make sure there's no super chats or anything. Someone has a bunch of questions. Okay, that's just with a question. Hurts or Daniels? I just feel safer with Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen. I want to see what Jaden Daniels does this week. I just feel safer with Hurts. It's a rougher matchup. But I just feel a little safer. If you want to shoot for the upside, that's cool. I feel a little safer with Hurts. Fannin, Gadsden, likely. Gadsden's probably your safer play. I think they're all great options. I think they're all great touchdown gambles. Just thinking off the rip here. Gadsden, they got him at 13. I'm looking at Fannin, and they got him at 9 against Tennessee. It's just if they're going to allow Shedeur to open up. It sounds like they are. It sounds like we'll get better passing volume this week out of Cleveland. And last week we got horrific passing volume. They shut it down in the second half. Hardly any passing attempts in the third quarter. And Shedeur really didn't allow him to rip it till middle of the fourth quarter. So it really depends on what this team does. This is a good defense to throw the ball on, potentially. And there's good outcomes for that. I think Gadsden is a little safer. I think there could be some good back and forth in this game. I feel a little safer. I think all these guys are touchdown gambles. I think I'd go Gadsden. I think it's all up in the air with those three. But also, like Likely's Matt, I think I'd go Gadsden. That'd be my dude. Who's next? Shuck or McCarthy? I'd go Shuck. I think you're going to get more volume out of him. I think you're going to get more out of him. I think it's a big-time coin flip gamble. Big-time coin flip gamble. Last 3 games. 282, 243, 239. 27, 43, 38. Tampa Bay on the road. The one thing about Tampa Bay, unless they're playing Spencer Rattlers, they're going to be in fire game scripts. Which, when we look at this over-under, is it going to hold true? This 41.5. Well, we're not guessing if it's going to hit the over-under, but it's indicating that it could be a lower scoring game. How could that happen? Is if Shuck sucks. But we have that same probability with both quarterbacks. Who's got the better weapons? It's J.J. McCarthy. I think I'd go Shuck because he's got a little history of the last 3 weeks, a small sample of him just tossing more. Hurts or Joe Burrow with this storm? How bad's the storm? That'd be the thing. Because that's the thing, because we've had a lot of instances this season where it was supposed to storm, and just right during game time, it would probably be bad for like 15 minutes, and then it'd just be all right, and not impacting too much of the passing attack. And then we had a couple bad ones, and I'm also thinking college football on top of that. It really depends. I like the matchup better. I want to look at could impact 50% chance of snow. Because roughly with the weather, it will decrease the passing attack by like 5-ish%, roughly. 65% chance of snow at 1 p.m., 70% at 2 p.m. The radar display is that. Expected cumulative is just an inch or two, so it doesn't seem like a blizzard conditions, but rather a light, persistent downfall. So roughly, it could impact it by like 5-ish% of the passing volume. They got a defense that the Bills are going to be able to exploit unless they kill it with James Cook. They've done it before in softer matchups. What are they saying here on the rankings? Joe Burrow, they're number 1. It got Hurts ahead of them. I like Burrow. I'm not worried too much about the weather, but if you want to go Hurts, you're fine. You got 2 studs. Lamar or Stroud? Lamar or Stroud. I'm checking the chat real quick. See where I got to go faster, guys. Lamar or Stroud? It's against Pittsburgh. I go Lamar. I go Lamar on that one. Flex, Addison or Burden? I think they're roughly the same amount of gamble here. I'd go Burden. Juwan Johnson or Kyle Pitts? I'd go Kyle Pitts. Would you drop one of my bench players, Marks, Tracy, Charbs, to stash Jaden Reed? Marks, Tracy, Worthy. Really depends on where I'm at wide receiver. Looks like you got a plethora. It looks like you're needing a wide receiver. So I would keep Worthy so I can play the matchups. Marks is more projectable with the touches. Tracy's sharing the workload. Then you got Charb. And really, their upside is really indicative to the other player getting hurt, and that's Charb and Tracy. I drop Charb. And your only risk is if Kenneth Walker goes down, which is not projectable. I'd go ETN. Woo! Ric Flair's watching right there, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for Ric Flair. I'd go ETN. I'd go ETN. Should I start Brenton Strange or Alec Pierce? I'd go Alec Pierce. More upside. I'd go Alec Pierce. Neal Gainwell Hunt. Pick 2 for flex. I'd go Neal and Gainwell. I'd go Neal and Gainwell. Who's next here, guys? Bird Mitchell. I'd go Mitchell. I've been saying Mitchell with that situation a lot. It's just more projectable. I think they'll roughly get the same amount of targets, and I like Mitchell's matchup better. We're there, aren't we? We're there to Brian Thomas Jr. and Burden. We're there. And the thing is, that's a valid question. And I looked at that and I thought it twice, which means I'm thinking hard on Burden. I think it's a gamble either way. I think both of them got upside. When I want to look at this Jaguars matchup. They got the better matchup, though. They got the better matchup, right? Whoa, what's up with this Colts-Jaguars game, though? It dropped another point. What? Who's hurt? Who's hurt, chat? Who's hurt? Because look at this. We dropped another point. We're at 45.5. What's happening here? I think I'm going Burden. I think that's scaring me. Like, I don't know what happened there. We're at 45. We're at 47. What's going up? We're at Jaguars. Is it storming or something? What's going on with the Jaguars game here? Does anyone know? Can someone type that out real quick? What's Omarion Hampton playing, guys? Lawrence or Williams? Like, what's going on, guys, with that game? That dropped another point. I think I'm going to go until I find out more information. I think I got to learn lean Burden there. Something crazy going there. Pittman more than Brian Thomas Jr. That's how I'd lean into it right now. Devin Neal or A.D. Mitchell? A.D. Mitchell more than likely for most of my lineups. I have him more as the upside play. He's getting enough targets where he's roughly safe. The Devin Neal workload gives him a little bit of a higher floor. And if I feel like it's an easy win for me, or if I'm up from Thursday, then I'd go him. But most of my lineups, I'd probably lean A.D. Mitchell and shoot for that upside. Lamar Burrow, how you feeling? I'm feeling good about both quarterbacks. There's a little bit of weather issue. Buffalo, Cincy. I'm not that worried about it. I think there's a chance of either way anyways. I think Lamar's safer. I think I'd probably lean Burrow anyways. I think I'd go Burrow. I think Godwin's a little bit safer than A.D. Mitchell. If I feel like it's an easy win for me, I'd go Godwin. I think a lot of lineups, if I got to smash for the upside, I'm going A.D. Mitchell. Definitely for sure. This is also a game where I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like, I want to check the news here on Underdog. What has happened? What has happened to this game to cause the line to move that quick? We're on chat. It was at 45. It dropped. And yes, started season 7-1. Roman Wilson is like we have not getting any new news on this. Who's out? What happened? Why is that moving so drastically? Is there a monsoon in Jacksonville? If there's something like that, let us know. If it's something like that, then I'm going definitely Godwin. Swift or Corum at flex? Swift. Jordan Addison. Swift as a safer play. If I'm that worried about the Packers game, then I'm cool with Corum, but more than likely I'm going Swift. Jordan Addison or Higgins at wide receiver 2. I'd probably go Jordan Addison. Thoughts on the Panthers backfield? Chuba on the wire. Is he worth a roster spot? I think he should be rostered in all leagues. I think he's at least worthy. Like, if Devin Neal's rostered, Tyrone Tracy, if backs like that, there's other trending running backs right here. Let's just go to the trending players and go to trending running back. Chris Rodriguez is rostered. Blake Corum's rostered. Backs like that, then, yeah, I'm definitely rostering him. He's definitely worth playing around in the lineups. For sure. He's a little bit of a gamble. It's different, but he's definitely worth using to play around with lineups. Watson, Christian Watson, Myers, Mitchell, Jefferson, Olave. Is that Justin Jefferson, Olave? I would rank them. Is that Jefferson first, then Olave, then Watson, then Myers, then Mitchell? That's how I would rank those. More often than not, I would start Guy unless I was in a matchup where I'm losing from Thursday pretty big, right? Or if I started like George Pickens, or if I'm playing top team in my league and I got to shoot for upside because my team is middle of the road, then I'd go Burden. Outside of that, most cases I'm going Money Guy. Double checking for super chats. Got a lot rolling here. I'm going to try and get faster for you guys. This is blown up on me. Next one here. Zach Bond for sure. Out of the 2 flex spots, Hampton, Mitchell, Devin Neal, or hit Hampton. Neal's your safe play. Hampton. And then it tosses up between Mitchell and Higgins for upside. Now that I'm seeing those numbers change, I think Higgins and Hampton, I'd roll with that, but I'm a 50-50 shot on Mitchell. Most often, if I feel good about my matchup, I'm going Hampton, Devin Neal, but if I need the upside, I'll add either Higgins or Mitchell into it, but more likely Higgins right now with Hampton. Charbonnet or Gainwell? It's a toss-up. I think Gainwell's got more upside. You're hoping for the touchdown with Charbonnet. Charbonnet's your safer play. I think I'd go Gainwell for more upside, though. Need 3. Have McConkey, McLaurin, Michael Wilson, Jalen Warren, Woody Marks. Need 3 of those. McConkey, Michael Wilson, looking at the rest, McLaurin. If I want to have a little safer option, McConkey, Michael Wilson, Woody Marks. Good luck this week, guys. Strange or Gadsden, Waller? I'd go Gadsden. I'd make sure I keep Waller for next week and the week after. I think Gadsden, there could be some good volume in that matchup. I think that's the game that could blow up, and it's a Monday night game. Those games and those night games, Mondays and Thursdays, go crazy. Trying to get this one to show up. There we go. Pierce, Burden at flex. More often than not, Pierce. Christian Rodriguez as your floor play if you're up from Thursday. But if I'm down from Thursday, playing a tough team, I'm going Pierce. And I think in this situation, I'm probably going Pierce more often. He's just the safer of the 3 when it comes to upside. And I think Rodriguez, you're hoping for the touchdown. Trying to get this one to show up. There we go. Half PPR. Trying to get the thing to show up on here. Next is Waller or Fannin. Hold on, I gotta stop moving. Waller or Fannin? I think Waller. First off, I want to address it. Both of them are touchdown upside players. See if I can get it to work now. Come on, dude. All right, Waller, Fannin. This is from, there we go. Waller, Fannin. I would go Waller, but I want to address as these are 2 touchdown upside players. I think the game script lets loose a little bit more for Cleveland. Shadur's got a prop of 160. I think we beat that. I think we'll be more around that 200 range. Fan did well with that. I think both of them are threats to score. I think Waller's going to have a little bit more volume this week, so a little bit more projectable to hits. Next one, it's running slow to show it, but this one's from Andrew Franco. Goddard or Mason? I'd go Goddard. I'd go Goddard over Mason. Right there, Goddard over Mason. Now we're picking up. I'd go Johnston. I'd rank them in this way. Quentin Johnston, and then if you want a pure upside gamble between Burden and Higgins, and I think you'll get more movement in Chiefs Houston. But more often not for my lineups, I'm going Johnston. Let's pull this up. From everything I'm seeing in chat and from what I've been reading, it looks like he was playing and everything was trending pretty good. It was trending good last week, and it was up to Doctor's choice. I saw it in the chat. I was looking it up. It's moving slow right now. I'll just keep that up there. But everything was trending to him playing. Let's see, get up here to the news. They don't have the news on him? What? What? All right, maybe they're updating it. I'll pull that up for you. Omarion Hampton right there. Pull that up for you real quick. There we go. There he is. He's playing. Right there it is. He's playing. Omarion moving from IR to RB1 spot to be active. He's playing. The question is how much he's going to play. Denver DST at Vegas. I think the Browns defense is going to be disruptive. They were kind of cold last week. I think they're going to be disruptive this week, and you got a rookie quarterback. My chats are going on fire right now. Okay, I got 2 super chats real quick. Hurts or Daniels? I'm rolling Hurts. First off, the line moved on that Colts-Jaguars game while we're on air from 45.5 to 44.5. I do not know why. And it was at 47.5 right here earlier. I am so worried about that. And plus, I feel very safe with Hurts that I'm going to do that. I do not know why this line has moved. I do not know why it has moved so much. That is a very concern for me. Like, what's going to happen in this matchup? What's going on? Is it weather? I don't know. Let me look here. That's a bunch of emojis here. Here we go. Next one. Next one's Hampton or Neal. Let me see if we can get that super chat up. I'm going Hampton over Neal for the upside play. If I can get it up. I want to show you, though. Thank you guys for. And then also, thank you, Overcome. I'm going Hampton over Neal. I'm going to shoot for that upside. Neal's got a good touchdown gamble, and Hampton's a gamble as well. He's also going against Philly, which they're not been horrible allowing fantasy points to running backs. I think we could get some good movement in that game, and I'm going to be all in on that and see if he can cross the goal line. That's what my personal preference would be. So those are the super chats. Do I have any more up here? So let's see here. Omarion Hampton's playing. Pick 2, A.D. Mitchell, Corbin Charbonnet. Let's see where was that here. Zay Flowers or Luther Burden. Jane Daniels or Brissett. I don't want to miss anybody, but we're getting so we got to start moving. Addison. Addison's your safer play, but Hampton's got more upside. I think most of my lineups would probably go Addison. Like, I do not know. It looks like it's going to be a split between him and Vidal. I think Addison's your safer bet. But if I feel like I got to shoot for more upside and just see if Hampton's back, I'd go Hampton. There we go. Oh, wait. I'd go Brissett or Jaden Daniels. I just think we're going to get 30 to 40 passing attempts. This other one is Mitchell, Charb, or Corum. Let me see if I can get it pulled up here. Mitchell, Charb, or Corum. Pitts. I would go, and it's going to be either or, A.D. Mitchell or Corum. A.D. Mitchell for your upside, Campbell. Corum more for that running back volume. I think most of the time I'm going to start A.D. Mitchell. Most of the time, just shooting for that upside. Coming down here, I'm going to be all over the place a little bit here. Just trying to catch up. This one is A.D. Mitchell, Troy Franklin from Jacob Bander. Chris Rodriguez. Chris Rodriguez is your safer play. I think I'm going to lean the wide receivers for me. If I have to shoot for upside, I'm going A.D. Mitchell. Troy Franklin would be my safer play. I think most of the time I'm going to be going A.D. Mitchell with that one. I'm going Zay Flowers over Luther Burden. Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. Chat's fired up. Who do I start? I'd go Omarion Hampton. I'd roll with that. Who do I sell? Waddle, Wilson, Olave. I mean, you're blessed here at wide receiver. You got like 3 top guys. I'd go Olave. Must win 2, Johnson, Fannin, Higgins. I go Juwan Johnson and Brian Thomas Jr. I'd go Hampton. We're moving now. We're moving. So let me click on these. Lamar, Daniels, pick one. I'd go Lamar. I like his matchup. I'm questioning Daniels now due to. Yep, rapid answers, guys. Yep, Omarion Hampton's playing, guys. Omarion Hampton's playing. He's playing. He's rolling. Charbs, Corum. This one's slowing up. Charbs or Corum? I think I'd go Corum. I'm going Corum over Charbs. This was for Mr. Steele. If you're still here. Waiting for that to come up. Another one's Keenan versus Burden. I think they're roughly the same gamble. I think Burden's more upside. Keenan's in a better matchup. So I'd go Keenan over Burden for MVNY Fresh. So what it is, it's not. I'm able to click on these. It's not popping up, and it's taking some time. Let's see if it works now. Nope. So I'm gonna read them off to help you guys out. Hampton's playing Lawrence versus Caleb Williams. There, see, it just came up. Like, it just comes up now. Lawrence versus Caleb Williams. I think this one's a huge gamble. I want to see what they're thinking over here. My gut went to Caleb. Where's Trevor at? And I think the thing is, I like Trevor Lawrence's matchup better. I think Trevor Lawrence is safer. I think more often Trevor Lawrence, and I'm looking at Williams more for an upside play. Hampton's out there. He's playing today. Lawrence or Willis? There it is. That's the question. There it is. No, it's not. I'm rocking Lawrence. Safer play. Hampton. Do I flex Monty Guy or Aaron Jones or Shakir? Monty Guy, Aaron Jones, Shakir. I think I'd roll. If it was me, I'd roll Shakir. If I want to just have a better probability of hitting the fairway, I'd go Aaron Jones. So maybe more cases. Williams. Okay. Lawrence over Williams. All right. Now we're starting more on Omarion Hampton. Lawrence or Williams? Lawrence. We got another one. More on Omarion Hampton. Omarion Hampton's playing. Someone's saying yes to somebody. Heavy rain. That's the Jacksonville game. That must be heavy. Let's look at the Cincy game. The Cincy game and Bills game is not being impacted. But you're looking, it must be an impact. Like, the people there know something. Because that over-under here, 44.5. It was at 47, like 24+ hours ago. And it was at 45 when we got here, and it dropped the whole point. Heavy rain. Thank you for sharing that. Alec Pierce, Luther Burden. That's one thing to know whether weather's a concern, I guess. That's true, because people in that area will be throwing bets in and dropping it. That's one thing. Like sometimes the weather calls for it to be nasty, and it doesn't hit during the game time, or it slows up, or it's just not enough to impact it enough. There's something up with that. Alec Pierce, Luther Burden, Jaden Higgins. Alec Pierce would be my main start. I want to learn more about how much weather's hitting that area, though. Zay Flowers a Burden. Zay Flowers for me. Yes, he's playing. That's over Omarion Hampton. Yeah. Flash flood watch. Big time rain. That it must be, like, I think I've got people. There's people worried about this Bengals Bills. That has to be a huge component there. Gainwell, Charbonnet. I've gotten that a few times. Charbonnet is more of the safer play, but the upside's not really there. If I really, really have to shoot for more 10 points, 11, then I'm going to Charbonnet. I think most cases I'm going Gainwell. Looking at defenses here, DST, Washington, Tennessee, Miami. Looking at the defenses here, Miami ahead for a reason. Like, your safest bet is maybe the Browns. I think the Jets are a little bit more riskier there. They're at home. I would do Tennessee. Next one, Luther Burden. Someone called this out. It's just not coming up. It will in a second. 8 catches, 121, and 2 touchdowns. Going on to the next question. Check to see if there's more super chats down here. Okay. There's those 2. All right, going back to where we were. It hasn't shown yet. Maybe I'm just clicking it too much. Wind 7 miles per hour, rain at Jacksonville game. Maybe that's cause. Yeah, on the Jacksonville game, I can see Burden blowing up, having a good. He's one of those stud players. When, yeah, sounds like flash flooding because that was a huge line move. Huge line move. Pick one. Drop from my bench to get a kicker. Strange, Quorum, Monagai. If I got an extra tight end, I'd drop the tight end. I'd always just keep the running backs. I'd always drop the tight end. I can always money ball with the tight end later with how it is. That's what I'd do. Watson, Burden, 80 Mitchell. Watson. Wait. Watson. I'd go Watson. Is EA. I'm thinking EA Sports. Which is my favorite. That MVP Baseball 2005 as well. And then 2K5. Do I flex money guy, Shakira or Aaron Jones? I think Shakira's more your upside play here. If you want to go safest route is Aaron Jones. It really depends. If you got a tough matchup, Shakira. If you're ahead from Thursday, Jones. Evans playing today. Let's see. Like, I thought, I just saw, like, while I'm on here, I see a lot of data real fast, and I'm answering. Week 15. So it doesn't look like it. And that's what I thought, but I thought I saw another tweet while Aaron Hampton for you guys that said opposite. All right, you're slowing up. Pretty sure Evans is still out this week. Evans is still out, guys. Next week is possible, but he's practicing, which is a good sign. Parker Washington also out. All right, so Brian Thomas Jr. is more in play. Got something up with the weather there. That has dropped the over-under a whole point between now and kickoff. Let's move through here, making sure there's no super chats down. Someone said cat below. What does that mean? Unless you're talking Thursday, then I don't know. Parker Washington got ruled out this morning, too. Maybe that's affecting projections, too. Yeah. How are we feeling about Hampton or Money Guy? I think Money Guy was banged up this week, which might be comparable to Hampton coming in. I think they're both going to be sharing the workload. I think Hampton's got the better matchup. I think they're both coin flips, touchdown gambles. I think Hampton's got the better matchup. I hate going against Money Guy, though. Rain and lightning in Jacksonville, guys. Rain and lightning in Jacksonville really impacting Zay Flowers. Hi, Bruce. I hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Walker or Sutton? Kenneth Walker or Sutton? I like this matchup for Sutton. I feel a little bit safer. I think Walker's an upside play. I feel a little safer with Sutton. Thank you, though. Burden or Franklin? Franklin's safer. He's safer. Watson, T, Pierce. Pick 2. Watson and T is what I'd roll with. Debo or Gainwell? I'm going Debo. AGB or Jefferson? I think I'll go Jefferson. I'd go Jefferson. Texans D or Miami D? I'd go Texans D. I just go off the. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you guys for the questions. Neal, Marks, Franklin, Godwin at flex. Safe plays marks due to the workload, touches, and opportunity in that matchup. Touchdown upside for that 10-ish, 11, 12 range. I think Godwin's got some upside for you in this matchup if I am playing from behind from Thursday. Franklin or Burden? Franklin for me. Love the emojis, guys. Love it. Luther Burden or Troy Franklin for me, guys. I think I'd roll Franklin. I feel a little safer with that. I think Burden's got a lot of upside. I think he's got more career upside. Why should I think why? Okay, next question's from Kabir. Okay, why shouldn't I start Devin Neal? I think you're trying to get me to talk you out of it, so I'll give you all the downsides. Tyler Shock just bombing the game script. That's your risk there. That's why. Just killing it. He's a touchdown gamble, touchdown upside. I do like that he's getting touches. Also, it really depends on what else you have and also what you have at flex or if you're looking at RB2. But he's very startable due to the touches, but also very not startable due to your context and what you got, and is not 100% certain for the fairway. Okay. KC, we're moving down here. The league I'm in starts 2 defense. Would you start Chiefs versus Texans, even though they're playing each other? I think that game script, when I broke it down, I saw it 2 ways. It breaking to the upside, being high scoring, or it being a slobber knocker. And I think I actually broke that one down more in depth than the other games. I think it's going to start off very slow. First quarter, it's going to be slow. Second quarter, it's going to be very slow. Might pick up in the back end of that. And then we're going to get in the second half. That's when the scoring is really going to pop off as they try to push the flow and get scoring in. I think that's fine. They're both good defenses. That's the thing about that. And I think there's potential for turnovers in that matchup. Charbonnet or Neal? Okay, I think I like Neal's more projectable for touches in that matchup. More projectable for touches. I think both of them are in line for around 10-ish points. Thank you. Thank you all you guys. Washington, Tennessee, Miami. Tennessee, Washington, then Miami is probably how I'd roll with it. Same question. A.D. Mitchell or Quentin Johnston? I'd roll Quentin Johnston. I'd roll QJ. Do I flex money guy or Aaron Jones or Shakir? Aaron Jones is your safer play if you want to get to that 10, 11, 12 range. Shakir's more for your upside if you want to see if you can hit to that 15-plus range. Watson or Godwin? I'd go Watson in this matchup. I think that they got potential to push it. Lamar or Brissett? I like them both. You can actually flip a coin on that. I'd probably lean Brissett. I think he's going to throw it 40 times. Franklin or Luther? Franklin for me. Walker or money guy? Walker more for the upside. Pierce or Mitchell? I'd actually go Mitchell due to I don't know how bad it's raining, but I'm starting to flip on Pierce a little bit due to the potential flood watch that is dropping over under that game. Jane Daniels or Brissett? Brissett's safer for me. AJ or Waddle? Good question. I go Waddle. Pick 2, must win. Swift, Harvey, Genty, money guy. Genty and Swift is what I'd roll with. I go Waddle. Christian Watson. Franklin. Reed is playing today. Woo. Just seen it. It's 12:50. I'm like 12 minutes behind. Fannin or Waller? Charbonnet or Bam Knight? Dart throw, 50-50. Bam Knight. Dart throw, though. Pierce or Mitchell? Pierce. No. Yeah. Mitchell. Yeah. Waddle. Metcalf or Jacoby Myers? Jacoby Myers. Reed is playing today. That's huge. That's huge. That changes a lot of things. Go get him, chat. Get him, guys. Thank you guys so much. Kickoff's happening, but I'm throwing stuff out there for you guys. Some of you guys got late game plays. Reed is playing. Reed is playing, guys. Really depends on your context here. I think he's going to be roughly around 200-ish yards today. He's got a player prop of 160. He hit the under on that. It's the same player prop the last 3 games. I think we're going to hit the over on that. I think this is a decent matchup. I think they're going to let him rip a little bit more. I think they're not going to take the ball out of his hands in the third quarter again. I think they received too much criticism on that, and it didn't go so well. I think this is a good matchup for him to get you into the fairway. If you're in a deeper league, sure. Traditional 10, traditional 12-man leagues, you probably got another option, I hope, because this could be a slow burn matchup. Aloha to you too. Hampton or Swift? I'd roll Swift. I feel a little bit safer with that. Debo, Woody, Shakir. Debo and Woody is what I'd roll with. Money guy. Let's go, guys. We're moving through this fast. We capping it. I don't know what, but Franklin or Burden? Franklin. Hampton or Debo? Debo. I'd roll Debo. About an hour and a half ago, I'd go Trevor Lawrence. Tyrod Taylor, probably. I mean, this dropped. Like, I'm not there to see the rain. That dropped the over-under by a whole point within a matter of minutes with that news. I'd probably go Tyrod Taylor. Burden, Vital, Hampton. Burden, Vital, Hampton. Burden, Vital, Hampton. Burden, Vital, Hampton. I'd shoot for upside with Hampton. 80 Mitchell or Money Guy? Money Guy. Jane Daniels or Brissett? Brissett. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Money Guy or 80 Mitchell? 80 Mitchell. Debo, Hampton. Debo. Burden, Mitchell. Rest of season. 80. Adonai Mitchell? Burden. I'd shoot Burden for the upside. He's a better player. Hampton, Vital, Allen. Start 2. I'd go Allen. And then I got to pick one of the running backs. I'd go Hampton. Good luck. Hey, good luck, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I got the last one here. I'm scared Neal is going to be treated the same way Kamara has. Yeah. I'm worried about Shuck. I'm worried about all that. I think the only thing I'm looking at is potential touches and workload. And that's about it. So mainly if I got functional players there, I'm probably going the other way. Well, looks like kickoff has happened. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you later today.